Ever since I was a child, my first video games have been about racing. I've collected model cars and admired cars wherever I went. 5 years ago, I obtained my driving license here in the United Kingdom. Within my first year, I have owned and sold 4 different cars, until almost 4 years ago, I bought my LS400. An impulse purchase, because I wanted a cheap V8 car at age 20. Best decision I've ever made.
I can't take no loss, I don't even know what it costs, I hit the ground then it go off, yeah, hit the ground then it go off, yeah, I can't take no loss, I don't even know what it costs, yeah, I hit the ground then it go off, yeah, hit the ground then it go off, yeah.
I've modified this car the way I wanted to, but also maintained it highly at the mechanical level. I like a luxury car, spacious car, but I also like a sporty feeling. The LS400 is far from sporty, but with a few modifications to suspension and wheel choice, as well as some cooling help to the gearbox and just general maintenance to a high degree, there are worse performing cars out there in all aspects of handling and power delivery. Overall, I'm happy with it. Recently, I decided again on a whim that I would research into track days, and came across track evenings. Less intensive, and there is less time to stress the car, but also cheaper. Decided to research more and found through Javelin Track Days offering a track evening at Cadwell Park for £99. I immediately bought it. On the day, I drove 3.5 hours to the track. I live in London. This track was in Lincolnshire, so it's quite the journey. The day I got there was magical. Sign up, prep, and then finally, I still remember the moment I got to enter the track. Even though we were following the safety car, it was a milestone for me. All those nights spent playing Need for Speed, Forza, Grid, Gran Turismo, Assetto Corsa, and countless other games. All of those conversations as a child have amounted to this: getting to drive my own car that I own outright onto an actual track. It was as close as I could come with just £100. During the 2 hours we had, we could pretty much enter and exit the track as we pleased, also called an open pit lane. I would do a few laps, 2 to 5 at most at a time, then come back to the paddocks. Let the car rest for a few minutes, stretch out, process what I'd just driven, and then go back in. There were a few funny encounters. I was for sure one of the slowest vehicles on track at the time, and even without fact checking, I'm certain it was the heaviest. Having weighed it just a couple days before with half a tank and me inside, it tipped the scales at just over 1,850 kilograms wet. Overall, this was quite an experience and my car definitely looked out of place on track. But this was no competition, no prize to take home. It was just an evening to have fun on. And was I overtaken by hatchbacks and all sorts? Sure. Did I manage to overtake anyone? A couple times. Did this car blow my expectations and then I drove it 3 hours home after ragging it for 53 miles and barely achieving 8.8 miles to the gallon on track, and it didn't skip a beat on the way home? It was amazing, and I suggest whatever your car is, so long as it's safe to drive on track, take it for a drive. You'll enjoy it. I sure loved every second of it.